welcome again to a new video for Infinity Kingdom. This is Pyakia from Server 49, and I'm going to talk today about an important thing most people don't focus about. It's the formation or the lineup. As you see here, I'm building or I'm using an Earth Marsh. The lineup is using Alexander here. This called the lead because he is the first immortal on the left. And this lead is so important thing to know. And as you see here, Alexander is going to be on the top of the marsh icon because this is the formation. And as you see, Zenobia is behind Alexander. So in the front line, also Zenobia is going to be in her lead for the front line. Sorry, the back line, because the front line ends here after Charles, and this is important to know which label do you have or do you see here, and I'm going to show you why directly from BVB. First, in BVB we can see a test in the training camp, and let me test with my I'm going to use Alexander here, and this is my marsh setup. I will face fire. Let me face fire. Okay, this not the fire I want. Okay, let's check this fire. It's level 50, class 25, star grade max, Frederick max. The equipments, you can check the equipments and the skill. They are using spear veil and water protection, syringe gaze. Okay, inhalation, concentration, and you can check the artifact as well. Physical attack bonus, physical attack bonus for Empress Wu, magical attack bonus for William, physical attack bonus, and the skills are 999, level 50 dragon, and this is huge. Okay, let's test our marsh. As you see here, the marsh power is less than my marsh power is less than the fire marsh, and also my marsh power is less than the usual, because I guess they are going to remove the tick buff or the tick overall, that the tick you researched for the academy, and increased the power and boosted the marshes, and also the tick power for attack. Sorry, not the shop, the tick is here. So as you see, there is a shieldman attack, HP, defense for all the marsh immortals. So I guess they ignored all of these. That's why we are having less power than usual. Let's have the fire marsh here and start. As you see here, I'm having Alexander in the lead, so he will be facing William, and Zenobia's behind Alexander, so this Ashoka will be behind William. It's important to know this, and I'm going to talk in details why you should know this and care about it. Now let's watch the fight. We are going to increase the duration to be the speed, so it decreases the duration. As you see here, my marsh is losing lots of troops, and the fire marsh is going to, okay, it destroyed my marsh. And as you see here, Empress Wu didn't have any troops died. Let's now having the same marsh, same skills, but playing a little bit on the lineup of the immortals. Having Alexander changed with Charles, only that will going to leave an impact on game. How is this possible? Because Alexander in the first, when he was facing William, he was only attacking William and Ashoka, but when Alexander is now against Frederick, he is going to cause lots of damage on Empress Wu by using cleave. Yeah, it's cleave. The cleave skill is going to make Empress Wu, as you see here, is taking lots of damage from my Alexander. And as you see, the marsh here in the first match, I lost heavy without causing any damage to Empress Wu, and also made the fire marsh win easily without losing much troops. But as you see here, my marsh kinda sustained, managed to kill the front line, and he will manage to kill Empress Wu easily because Empress Wu is not that tanky. All what I didn't change any skills. I didn't try to change lots of immortals. All what I did is only taking Alexander from the lead to put Alexander on the facing Frederick. Yeah, his name is Frederick. So I didn't manage to win this match, but I tried it once before. I can do a little bit. It's kind of having random numbers because it's a random number generator, having lots of as you see, combo having chances and also cleave having a chance, so it's not guaranteed to make the same damage in the all fights. But I managed to win before I record this video. But as you see from the first match, I lost all my troops, and the fire marsh were having 4 living immortals, and I'm not even countering the fire marsh. I'm not having malice, I'm not having resist, I'm having Oakengard, so I'm not doing anything to counter the fire. If I used only malice, I could win easily, but I didn't wanna do that. I'm only talking about the lineup, I'm not talking about the skills. And another thing to put in consider for the lead, as you see here, Hippolyta is in the lead. So when I'm using lifelink and absolute defense, it's because Hippolyta is on the lead. So she is the only immortal that only going to take damage from the boss, and the boss will not target any of the other immortals, since he is going to only attack the immortal in the lead. This is the metallic fortress for Earth Dragon, and it's going only to target the first immortal until he kills the immortal, and when he kills the immortal, he switch targets to Alexander, for example. Also the Death Slinger, sorry, I don't wanna misspell any boss. Yes, the Death Stinger. The Death Stinger also targets the first immortals in the lead, but Lava Lurker having her skill causing damage in area effect. But here, or sorry, this we call it Worm, the Lava Lurker for the Fire Dragon. The basic attack from here or from this boss is going to be also for the immortal in the lead, but you have to make sure not to make this boss using his elemental skill, since his elemental skill will be area effect. So you have to put in mind, sorry, you have to put in mind putting an immortal having lifelink or absolute defense to tank the basic attacks. As you see here, the basic attacks was only 2 attacks. One of them was dodged, and one of them landed on Hippolyta, and the attack landed on Hippolyta had her lifelink reflect. I will show you much in the replay. So this is the boss. As you see here, he is only attacking Hippolyta. I guess my Cyrus did a great job by keep silencing this boss a lot, because this boss didn't land attacks on my Marsh. I don't know why it kept silenced, so he only landed 2 attacks. He got stunned a lot. He is going to be burning. Nice. I guess I stunned him forever. I only landed 2 attacks, but my point here was Hippolyta. Hippolyta's only took some of the damage because she is on the lead. As you see, Alexander, he is only targeting Hippolyta, even though he is not attacking a single attack. And this is so funny. But my point, he is only targeting Hippolyta when he tries to attack, even though he didn't land any attack on Hippolyta. But if he didn't get stunned, how many stuns did my Cyrus do? Okay, 27 seconds, 9 attempts. No one silence except Cyrus. This is hilarious. He attempts 9 stuns on the boss, and this is so huge. Anyway, I was talking about the lead here for the formation. So if I switch sides, the boss will be focusing Alexander instead of Violeta. So the defensive skill here will not be useful at all. It will be so useless and will not be okay to use. Since I'm using a defensive skill on an immortal, will not get any damage except when the first immortal die. But this formation here, I made it just to minimize the losses and decreases the died troops. As you see here, the death were 21 to the healing 115. So this boss going to take the immortal in the lead. Also, another thing to do in arena or in PvP, but I'm going to talk in arena because I don't have anyone to attack me right now. So let's open a random report. I wanna find let's find, yes, this is a good report to show you the effective of the lead. Here, as you see, Alexander using cleave, and cleave with every normal attack of causing physical damage to two nearby enemy units. So for example, he is going to attack Charles and Zenobia. So Zenobia took lots of attacks from Alexander's cleave. I'm going to take Zenobia's here, damage taken. As you see, she took damage from Alexander and Arash. And for me, I was using Alexander here and Elizabeth. If my Elizabeth were behind Charles, she would keep getting damage from Alexander, so I wouldn't deal much damage. As you see, my Elizabeth did 17 million damage over 18 million, almost 18 million damage, over 17 million damage. So if Elizabeth were here, she would lose lots of troops, and this will affect the damage will be less effective, since the immortal deals damage depending on the troops he have. And my Alexander here in a good position, only attacking Charles the Great, causing damage also to Arash. So his Arash will be having lots of damage from my Alexander, and this made his Arash doing less damage to my backline immortal, because I guess he has the exclusive artifact for Arash. So I was doing lots of damage here. If my Alexander and Elizabeth were facing his Alexander, his Alexander is going to attack my Alexander and my Elizabeth, and his Arash will be protected from my Alexander, and his Arash would be attacking Elizabeth or Zenobia, and would destroy my backline in an instant. And this match would last only for 13 seconds. It wouldn't last for this time, even though he is have T7 and his dragon is 46. In a comparison for my dragon, it's 40, not 41. My skills are 1, 1, 10. He is 1, 2, and 10. And even though my Earth March suffered from his lightning, so my Earth March only had 45,000 troops against him. He had a full troops, and I managed to kill his Charles, since my Alexander was facing him and he doesn't have a physical defense artifact, and made a lot of damage on Arash. This made my marsh destroyed half of his marsh and the main source of the earth marsh, Charles, of course. So my fire only had to do a little work here. Also, my Empress Wu is away from his Alexander, so my Empress Wu didn't have any troops losses. As you see, she didn't get any damage at all. Arash, I guess, took Cyrus for his elemental skill, or what? Let's watch this replay. I think Arash only attacked Cyrus and couldn't manage to attack any more further because they died so soon from my Empress Wu. The fire dragon deals a massive damage, and we are not talking about the attacks right now. We are talking about the formation, and as you see, Arash only died from some skills and the dragon skill, and Alexander is not dealing any damage to Empress Wu. This is so important to know where to put your immortals, not to randomly throw your immortals anywhere. So it's important to know where to deal damage with your immortals. For example, here my William skill, his skill deals damage directly ahead. So let's me open a report. Sorry, here, and let me open my fire. Okay, so William, if William will dealing damage to Alexander, he's going also to deal damage to Zenobia using his elemental skill because he's dealing in a line. But Hippolytus takes damage randomly on units, so it's fine to put Hippolyta anywhere. But William could be better to put it on the back line. Since Arash was low, I didn't manage, or I didn't focus a lot on putting William in front of Arash. But here, as you see, I put William in the wrong side. I should put William here instead of Hippolyta, so my William could attack Ramses and Merlin in the same time with his elemental skill. But his water marsh is so weak, so I didn't focus about his water marsh. I managed to kill his water marsh in 20 seconds. My fire and Empress Wu just slaughtered them in no time. As you see, the crit rate here is amazing. My point of view, if I used William here in front of Ramses and Merlin, William would be attacking Ramses and Merlin using the same elemental skill instead of attacking Attila and Dido, since the water marsh source damage is frontline and Merlin, of course. And here for the lightning, if I used William or the fire marsh, I could use William here instead of Alexander, so he can manage to attack Peter the Great and Elizabeth in the same time. Putting both the backline main source damage and the frontline main source damage in the same line is so a weakening point. Don't use this until you are countering an attack or countering a defense that you know your opponent lineup, as I am doing here, because lots of immortals deals damage in front of them, like Ramses, because Ramses also targeting directly ahead. I think most of his spearmen dealing damage directly in a line, so it's important to know the shape. Also, Attila is dealing damage in a fan shape, so he is dealing damage on William and Cyrus. So my Empress Wu is protected from his Attila, but not protected from Ramses, since both of them deals damage in front line and back line. I put Empress Wu here in front of Ramses, since Attila can cause a stun or silence, the chance of reducing physical defense and silencing them. I didn't want my Empress Wu to get silenced from Attila, but it's fine to take a little damage from Ramses. I hope I cleared everything about the lineup, since the lineup is so important, and where to put your immortals is so important, and they can change the impact of the game. Let me try one more the training camp using the same Earth Marsh against the Fire Marsh. Let me fight one more. because I'm 100% sure I can win. And it was so easy, but the RNG or the random number generator for causing the cleave and causing combo were not so good in the last matchup. As you see here, my Marsh not losing a lot as the first report we showed. His Frederick is almost dying, and Empress Wu lost lots of troops. As you saw when William tried to use his elemental skill, he targeted Charles and Zenobia. Didn't target any of my Alexander or Elizabeth because I used Charles and Zenobia in front of William here. Charles in the lead, William in the lead, and for the backline, Zenobia in the lead behind Charles, and William will use his elemental skill in front of Charles and Zenobia. Instead of if I used, for example, here my Alexander and Elizabeth, his William or the enemy's William will be targeting Alexander and Zenobia's my main source of damage, and I would lose easily if I faced this march like that. And it's so important to only change your lineup instead of trying to focus more about the skill, even though the skills are so important. But if you are countering the march, for example, if I removed the Oaken Guard here, I'm just having a strong march, so I can just change the lineup instead of changing the skills. If I used a resist and used malice instead of misleading, for example, I would use this march to counter fire. But for some reasons, you can counter the enemy march with also losing. Why? Because you are using a bad lineup. Not only the skill counts, also the lineup counts. Make sure to use the right lineup, even if you are not using the right skills, but using both the right skills and both lineups and right skills together would be more efficient to lose less troops and to win your fights easily against bosses, against enemies in PvP, in arena, in KVK. Make sure to use the right lineup with the right skills. But the main video was about the main lineup and formation. If you have any comment, please don't leave to put or leave a comment in the comment section right below, and don't hesitate to ask me any question you want or any tips and tricks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.